everyone, and welcome to the Dads on the Fly podcast. I am Joshua.
And I'm Caleb. We're so excited you guys are joining us for Dads on the Fly on YouTube. We're two dads who are men of faith and try to be intentional fathers, and we love to fly fish. And we're not experts on any of those subjects, but what we do try to do is have conversations with each other where we learn a little bit more about it, or we do interview some folks that we think maybe are a little bit more expert on some of these subjects and try to ask the questions that we're all asking. So thanks for tuning in.
And as we continue on this journey, we hope that you will just join us week to week as we produce and put out some episodes with some of the top names in the industry, as well as just conversations with Caleb and myself. So thanks for joining us, and let's get into this week's episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dads on the Fly podcast. I am Caleb, joined by my brother Joshua. Joshua, how are you, man?
Man, Caleb, this is awesome tonight. We're trying something a little different.
It's going to be cool. So if you're listening to this and not checking this out, we are on YouTube for the very first time, and we thought of no better way to make ourselves way more presentable
For the first time.
yes, than to have the most beautiful parts of our lives
There you go.
on the podcast.
That is 100% right.
We are really excited to welcome back, by popular demand, the moms on the fly. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, we're so
nice
glad
to be
y'all are
here.
here.
So you said something in that intro there. We are on YouTube. We hope this is on YouTube.
We're trying this for the first time.
We're gonna edit this between now and Monday. So let's hope it's on YouTube. But that's the plan.
So this is next week's episode?
This is next week's episode.
Oh,
Were you
okay.
prepared for that?
This is
No.
Monday.
Listen, you're about to be. I mean, you're
We were hoping
you're
it was
probably
gonna
going to
stay.
go viral. Like,
I
let's
have
be
no
honest.
doubt.
Like,
We have a backup
You're
plan.
probably-
So
You do have a backup plan. That feels good.
we do have a backup episode if we need it. But this is the first time that everyone can see our humble studio that we sit in all the time.
we talk about it so often, and what's great is they didn't a year ago. What did this studio look like?
Well, so a year ago we did not. I can't remember actually when we did the Flytown area back here. It
was not a year ago.
It's probably not a year ago, no. And we got this beautiful table, off Facebook Marketplace here that we record on, and this is where we do our episodes with our guests that we have remote and.
Well,
And
like
some live. You had some people come here.
just a little over a year ago, there was like 18 inches of water where we're sitting.
There was
so-
some water here in this room.
Some water.
Some water. We pumped
I
a lot
remember
of
it was a lot.
Yeah, it was all hands
And
on
mud.
deck.
A lot of mud.
Yeah, probably
Yes.
more mud than water. to
And
be
also
honest with you.
flooring
Yes.
that was no longer attached to the floor.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Instead, we just bought a rug.
And I like it. And so here we are. We're in the Dads on the Fly studio, and we just want to thank everybody for listening to this. We are excited to bring into the podcast tonight our wonderful wives. So I'll introduce mine first for those who may be new to the podcast and didn't listen to episode. I think it was episode 20.
It was 20. We had to look it up.
You remember?
At the festival. Mhm.
So I'm Caleb, and this is my wife, Sally. Sally, thank you so much for doing this with us.
It's a pleasure.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and you are definitely the most beautiful
Chick-fil-A.
side. What?
My pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
today?
Yes.
It's just ingrained. So thanks for being here, babe. I'm glad to have you.
This is my wife Laura here on my left side, as the only other lady in the show here, so it had to be. We didn't really give him much of a choice, but thank you for helping us out doing our first YouTube episode. And
So we need to go ahead and tell everybody.
this is my 12th shirt.
I was
Is that
about to
what you were
say
gonna
that. So we are on YouTube for the first time, and my favorite thing about the fact that we're on YouTube for the first time is we did 3 takes. This is our 3rd take to get it right, and so I think I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you're not following Dads on the Fly yet on Patreon, you should, because I think we're going to show deleted scenes from this episode on the Patreon.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear all about your wardrobe changes, because your wife was complaining that it was kind of like dressing her children
Yeah,
to get you
pretty much.
prepared for this tonight.
Every
And,
wrinkled thing he owned, he came down
but
here in.
Laura, you are amazing. Thank you. You got us all set up down here
Glad to
and
do
helping
it.
make us work.
Well, I think people need to understand how kind of a snug we are in here, because it is a great room, but like we have a lot in this room for the size of it, and here we sit. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm kind of a little bit, I don't know, on how's this going to look and from a viewpoint. So keep in mind, folks, after you watch one of these and you're just like, I can't watch this, we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify is where you go. So, but we
Pull
we
it
did-
up in the background of your web browser. Go do something else. Go check a bunch of other
That's
stuff.
a great
and keep us
idea.
going.
A lot of people do that.
So
we just had this thing that we wanted to do for 2023. And it's taken us a couple weeks. And so let's go ahead and talk about why it's taken us a couple weeks. Two things. Number one, we were really busy on weekends until this weekend, so which we're going to talk about here in the episode. And then number two, we needed some experts to get our audio right with the camera situation. So we called in an expert. Shout out Walker. I'm sure he's watching.
He'll watch the first
listening.
one.
He'll watch the first one just to see how we did.
And then he might be like, I can't watch that anymore.
Maybe.
He is about to be a dad though, so I told him he's got to start checking us out a
You
little
better
bit
start
more.
binging now, man.
Yeah, he's got a lot to catch
70
up on.
episodes to pick up on before he gets, time in June. But so our goal for tonight, we got to do a couple things. But the first thing was we haven't really had a show to break down the Virginia weekend.
Yeah, so we got to take you awesome people to Virginia, to Doswell, as we learned.
Do swell.
Doswell, Virginia. And we went to the Virginia Fly Fishing and Wine Festival, and you ladies were kind enough to come along with us and help us set up our booth. Just like tonight, you help make us look so much better than we actually are, which still isn't that great when it's us, but we do appreciate you for making us look a lot better. So it was a good time. I enjoyed it. A lot of cool vendors, a lot of cool things taking place at the show. We got to meet in person some of our favorite people, which was really cool. Getting to meet them for the first time.
We met enough people.
You fangirled a lot.
Okay, yeah, we
does that mean?
fanboyed.
We fangirled.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So like think of like Justin Bieber, like the Bieber girls,
level
like
of
fangirl,
excitement.
like
Oh, so
like
it'd be
the Beatles.
It'd be like if
when they were-
Tyler Childers came to Canton or something.
Yeah, kind of like
Or
that.
like when you went to
or like when we
the trout world.
Yeah,
the
when we
people
met
you
Tom Rosenbauer for the first
Yeah.
time, like actually met him in
Yeah, at the
person
hotel.
at the hotel, and then again he hung
And he
out with
knew
us
who
at
I
our
was.
booth.
And you were in the lobby, and he pulled up, and Josh was like, "There's Tom. There's Tom. There's Tom."
Well, I mean,
That's a big deal.
It was a
To
big
me,
deal.
I
I told
to y'all, yeah,
Sally
for
it
sure.
would have been just like, with like her flowers and like all of her decorating and stuff that you do. It'd have been like if Joanna Gaines walked in and was like, "Oh, Sally, I love your stuff." Like I was like,
well,
He did giggle.
if-
I did
He
giggle a
did
little bit,
giggle.
so-
if
it's pretty cool.
Joanna is watching, we would love to have her and Chip on an episode of Dads on the Fly. I think that'd be a great
I feel
plan.
certain she's
I'm
listening as
pretty
well.
sure.
"Oh
We're
yeah,
watching.
I'm sure they're."
So
checking
let's talk about. Let's just break this down because I think since the wives are on the show, we will get some wives friends that don't usually listen to the show. So
Probably.
So we're gonna
I have a
make.
feeling a lot of our normal people who listen to the show
May
will
already be
share
turned it
this
off.
to their wives,
I'm just
or they
kidding.
may share it with their wives.
So
Because we're gonna
go
the
fly
wives'
fishing here toward the
perspectives.
end,
Yeah.
or in the middle. But
Or
let's,
I like to say, a fish heavy episode.
yes. So we're going to keep this one a little more family friendly. So let's talk about, first of all, the drive. We'll just start from the beginning, man.
man.
Like we did vacation. The drive to Virginia, we piled in with Foster.
Yes.
Laura's dad, my father-in-law, was kind enough to loan us his vehicle for the weekend. And so Foster's back there in the little third seat, crammed in with the box hitting him. The microphones kept hitting him every time we made a turn. So we hit the road, and I think we left and we didn't forget anything, did we? Which is rare for this crowd.
I think we thought we forgot a couple of things.
Well,
The HDMI cord.
yeah, we thought
Which
we
we
needed.
did-
That
which
was
we
we
ended up
didn't
not
need it.
needing.
which we didn't actually
We
need.
didn't need it.
So we
should
made a
return
Target
that.
run the first night we were
So
there.
we
Because
hit
of
it-
course we went to a fly fishing show and we had to go to Target.
Well, it was necessary.
It was necessary. What did we need?
We did.
Water.
Yeah, we did.
We did need
We did
bottles
not
of
or anywhere
water,
else.
and we got some drinks,
Yeah.
which was
Target.
because
very
we couldn't have gotten
smart.
those at a grocery store right down the street.
No,
we
but
had
the
to find the
concessions
Target.
at the place were very expensive. We did a smart decision. It was
And all
good.
seafood.
It was.
I
Which
don't
was delicious
eat
and
seafood.
wonderful,
No, no,
and
it was a-
the
it was-
food at the festival was amazing.
It was a high volume of fried things at the
food was great.
I was loving it.
So we stop at Winston-Salem. We introduce you two to.
Oh, dude, we got Kava for the first
Kava
time.
for the
so
first
all the
time.
Kava,
Welcome.
all the Kava reps that are listening to this episode as well,
Absolutely.
if they ever want to sponsor the podcast,
I would like a
let
lifetime
us know.
supply of garlic dressing and
holy
potato chips.
cow, that place was awesome.
And-
now we're getting one in Asheville.
Yeah, we
Exciting
are.
enough.
Yeah, we are.
Laura was so pumped. Like y'all sent her the message on. I was like
Yeah,
the Facebook
Sally
article
found the
right when we got
article. Then
home,
I
yeah.
had to find out how to log in to be able to read the rest of the article
Yes.
to confirm.
So we
We're
roll
getting one.
in from after lunch, little Kava lunch. We roll into
Ashland.
Ashland. Thank
Ashland,
you.
Virginia.
Ashland, Virginia.
Just north of Richmond.
George North, around, I don't know what time it was. It was like 6 o'clock, really. And I think we need to talk about
Yes, I knew this was coming.
I think we need to talk about where Caleb went the first night in the hotel.
All right, so we get there. And as we get there, our friend Shannon from Maggie Valley Fly Shop, he had sent a text that like there was some stuff going on in the lobby, and so when we got there, I immediately like went and dropped my stuff in the room and grabbed Sally and was like, "Hey, let's go see what's going on." So I walk into this conference room, and the cool thing that the fly fishing show did this year, they did a women's symposium, where they had brought in a bunch of amazing women, and Bo Beasley there at the fly show. It was a really great event, so when I walked into the little conference area, I walk in, this guy's like, "Hey man, come on in, you want a drink?" He hands me a drink. I've got Sally with me. You're with me, and we walk in, and he's like, "Yeah, y'all come on in, have a seat." And I walk in and I see Bo, and I go over and shake his hand, and he's like happy to see me, but he's really excited like Sally's there, and I'm like, "Great, this is awesome." And all of a sudden somebody says, "All right, if everybody wants to have a seat, we're gonna get started." And I was like, "Oh shoot, what are we starting?"
So you sat through.
I sat down and I sat through, the first 30 minutes of the women's symposium that I was.
Yes.
And I hope if Bo's listening to this, he's, laughing with us and not saying, "Hey, you didn't pay for that."
This is how the text message went. The text message went to me because I'm in the hotel room getting Foster settled. "Dude, get down here quick."
Well, it was awesome when we first walked in.
There was
snacks,
free
drinks,
It was
giving us food, they're giving us all this stuff, and I was like, "This is gonna be great."
Get down here. Then before I could get down there, stop! Don't come down here.
I'm in the wrong place.
I'm in the wrong place.
I was like, I didn't say this. I was literally, other than the people presenting, I was the only man in the room.
Yeah.
I don't think I
That was how
belong
we started the fly fishing festival that weekend. But
Can we back up just a second to
Sure, what
the
did we miss?
Peruvian place? Was it
When we turned in,
Peruvian?
and you called it Bavarian.
Oh yeah, we had the Bavarian chicken.
The Bavarian
We were
chicken.
excited about the Bavarian
Well,
chicken.
I've
Bavarian
always been
chicken and
one
the sports
to,
bar. There was like three things that were one
read
strange
quickly.
combo
Yeah.
restaurant.
Fun place.
it was a great place to stay. The hotel was nice.
Yeah, it was.
We crammed into a room, and the floor was.
Joshua had high hopes that he was going
You
to
were
sleep on
gonna
the
try to
floor.
sleep on the floor,
There
and
was
that was
an
not
Because
gonna
Foster
happen.
can't, it did not happen. It's like I
I
don't
did
know
till
what.
like 4 a.m.
And then all of a sudden, I realized I was on the very edge of teetering on maybe dying off the edge of the bed and busting my head
All
on the
three of y'all on a
nightstand
queen-size
because
bed.
All three of us were in a queen
We
size
made it
bed.
work. Luckily, Foster's a small 11-year-old,
Yeah, small.
so that worked out okay.
I slept great. We didn't
I
have
s-
children.
I had no
in the bed.
problem.
But now
We didn't have any
y'all's
children. It
bed,
was
like all the
wonderful.
bedding came apart.
It did.
It just would
Well,
not stay,
that's-
and it looked like somebody had
Yeah.
had tried to remake it and didn't know how to tuck things in.
In-depth episode for the dads here and the why, like the whole story.
So let's get to the
Show.
next
The nitty-gritty.
day.
Uh-oh, here comes
we
the
went
child.
to we went to the fly fishing show for the first time. It was phenomenal. We set up our booth, and man, I had a blast. I don't know how you felt about that first day. I just thought it was incredible. We got somebody
definitely
joining
a
us
child.
for the first time.
yeah.
This wouldn't be Dads on the Fly if we
Without
didn't have
the
a
child.
child.
I hear some
helping us
footsteps
for the first time.
So
you want to
I think
step out for a
Sally's
minute?
going to take that care of that.
Thank you, babe.
So we get there that morning about 8 o'clock. We get set up, which took us a little while. I think everything worked great on setup. You got the sign. Laura did kind of the visual aspect, and we're right beside this huge boat of Tyler's throughout the whole thing. And that's when, Mr. Rosenbauer comes by our booth and hangs out and gets a picture with us, gets a picture with Foster, and we're in a good spot, man. And 9 a.m. people just start pouring in there, and at that point I'm in my element because I got people to talk to about fly fishing, and it's super fun. And the wives realized that they were glad they packed long sleeve shirts.
Yeah,
was
y'all
brisk.
froze to death.
We were in
We were
a
like
cross
right in the cross
draft
draft
area.
of the two doors for people to
Yeah.
come in. Yeah, y'all got a little chilly there that first day.
A little?
But then you figured out, it was the Virginia Fly Fishing and Wine Festival, and so you got
Yeah.
to enjoy the second part of the show a lot as well.
When
you got
we-
to taste a lot of great
When
wines.
When we got cold, we would just
We
go
were
Some
tasting.
wine to warm up. That's a good
The
idea.
tasting
wine.
and you were warm. It was great.
I liked it.
So awesome, man. We met so many people. When I got home the week after, I sent out a bunch of emails. Everybody we met that left us their card. We told them not to run up there, and they are.
Yeah, if you're hearing,
So if you're hearing
footsteps
that's what
right
you got.
now, it's coming from our upstairs.
But yeah, the show. I'd never been to a fly fishing show. I don't think you'd ever been to a fly fishing show.
I've been to a small one. There was one in
Small.
Asheville we went to one time, but it wasn't a big one.
But so just kind of seeing how everything. You had like 4 presentation rooms with people doing clinics. Was that the right word?
Sure. Yeah, just go with instruction. Yeah,
and
classes.
People moving around, going to classes, and so like those would kind of fill up. And
Yeah.
people would kind of flood back into.
You had the bed casting areas.
Two
You
casting
could go
ponds,
yeah, you could go cast rods, and there was people doing instruction, which was awesome.
I feel for the people
I even
that had to
got.
drain those.
You know they pump them out.
Yeah, they pump.
Do they?
It's not that
They
bad.
pump them out. Yeah.
I mean, it's only like
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
Inch
for
or
the
two of
person
water.
that came up with a way to make an inch or two of water stay.
Well, they do them
In
all over.
something like
Yeah, I
that,
mean,
which is
they're
impressive.
all over the place. It's pretty cool.
So it was wild.
So I want to ask the ladies.
I think it should.
So, what was your experience? I'm going to be honest. I was nervous about taking you to a fly fishing festival because I was like, "What is Sally going to do the whole time we're there?" So, I want to ask y'all, what was your experience? Because we were like in our element, obviously.
Obviously.
I know it's not necessarily your element. So, how was it?
I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it was. I mean, I've been to other festivals before, so I thought it. I mean, it was like every other festival you've been to. Really good vendors. It was really neat to see how many people were truly lined up at the start of each day. It was real cold, and then some people were standing outside. It was very cold.
The Weather Channel lied.
The Weather Channel did lie. We packed for something in the 50s, and it was definitely like 20-something. It was brisk and windy and very cold. It's when it snowed here. It was the weekend that we had snow here. But no snow there, just incredibly cold and very windy. But I think it was really cool to see the number of families that were there, which was great. And then also, it was a lot of women. There was a lot of women there, which was also pretty interesting to see because you didn't really expect that. You're just thinking it's going to be lots of men. But there was a good cross-section of women that were there. So I thought it was good.
Cool.
I think for me, it was really cool to see, like, at first, you're like nervous and like, who's going to come to the booth? Who are they going to stop, or do I have to like follow them? And
Well, if they walked by, did they get a chance but to stop?
no, they didn't with you. No.
Josh was like hanging out in the aisles, like, "Everybody, come here!
Yeah.
Got something important to say."
But I think it was really cool just to watch people and watch y'all interact with the different families. There were people from everywhere, I feel like. I mean, a lot of people local, but a lot of travelers. I enjoyed meeting new people. Tom Rosenbauer was really cool
Yeah.
to meet. There were a lot of cute dogs.
We did enjoy a lot of very cute dogs.
was gonna say,
we
Sally.
Googled a lot of dog types.
What was that? A Trodger or something?
Troller.
If you have never seen a troller
You
dog,
need to Google one.
go look it up.
Beautiful. Monochromatic, beautiful dog.
So wine and
Wine,
dogs.
children.
Yes. Good fried
All the
food.
things
Lots
you're
of
looking for
fried
in a fly
food.
fishing show.
I mean, it's a great show for.
It really
It was.
was.
It was
man.
Sally
great.
makes a good point for families. It's a
It
great
was.
show.
It was
And there
incredible.
were even more families. I felt like Sunday that were coming. We had some people come after church. People come before church. Like it was a diverse group of people.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was just cool just to meet a lot of people, kind of get the word out about what we do, and I think we connected with a lot more folks.
And
through
there
that
were
show.
a few people that came by that had listened to the show.
Yeah, we met several folks. A lot of guys, a lot of families who have listened to the show before, and we got a chance to meet them and talk to them and hear their stories. And I think that's my favorite thing about stuff like that is you just get to you put faces and you put people with names and things that you hear. And so I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah, my favorite part of the show was obviously just meeting people, just hanging out, getting to connect with people we had met on the phone, even from like Howie. We talked about this on the last episode, but from meeting Howie and getting to know him more as he was there, actually, getting to shake Bo's hand and talk to him and saying thanks for being on the show. Same thing with Mr. Rosenbauer. Other people that had been on the show. It was cool to do.
Joe at Angler's Coffee. Like we
Yeah,
were excited
exactly.
to meet him, and he's
We also used
Been
Angler's
kind-
coffee when we got cold.
Yes.
Big
Gotta
shout
give
out
them a
to
shout out to Angler's
And
Coffee.
Howie knew what I needed, and
He
Foster
even
would
had,
go
what,
get it.
Splenda
he
or
even had
Sweet and Low?
he had like French vanilla creamer at one
Yeah.
point. It was great. So that
He
that
knew
was
when we
super
walked
helpful.
around. He was like, "Oh,
y'all are
they're
cold.
coming."
he
Yep.
had your
cold.
coffee milkshake ready.
He took care of
your
us, yeah.
your milk.
And
with
they
a
had a
little
great
bit of
They
coffee.
were right when you walked in. So it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
right where
Yeah, they
you
were.
get coffee. I also really enjoyed just the different.
Dude,
That's got to be your kid.
I hope that's got to be James. So,
gotta
like,
be your
for
kid.
people that are listening, if you're hearing the stomps and the bangs, if you're watching or whatever, that's
Well, it's
what
kind
we're
of
laughing
like
about.
what we wanted this to be for the first
Yeah.
YouTube episode. This is what we are. I think as we continue to grow and meet more people, we've talked about this before on the show, staying true to the weekend warrior dad's lifestyle. This is us.
Yeah, this is us.
You hear the stomping. You hear
Totally on the fly.
we're on the fly. We hope that the battery is still on in the camera at this point.
My teeth are about to start chattering.
Yeah, Laura's freezing. She doesn't understand the coldness of this. So we're going to take maybe a quick break.
Yeah, let's take a short
is there anything
break.
else from the show we need to wrap up? Oh, do you want to talk about the drive home?
No, I know one thing from the show.
Okay.
Hey, Sally, should they have ordered stickers?
Yes.
Much heated debate. We got new microphones.
Yeah.
They needed stickers. They gave out every sticker they had.
Yes.
We did.
On the first day, they
Oh,
could have been
basically,
done
there
at
was
12
5.
o'clock.
There was like 5 stickers left on the
It
second
became
day.
a thing to where I started to just give stickers to dads with like young kids.
Yeah.
So if they were like pushing a stroller, I'd give them a sticker.
You're dad on the fly, man. You're dad on the show. You're dad.
If you have a young kid, you get a sticker.
However, your giving did not match your order capacity.
No, we need.
Well, it was like, ooh, he's cool. Like, he's got a cool story. Oh, he listens to us, but he didn't.
He needs a sticker. He's a listener.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
yeah,
a dad.
we gotta.
He's a random man with a troller dog.
if you
He
want-
needs a sticker too.
gotta
if
say
you want
thanks.
more free stickers, join the Patreon. The more Patreon,
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
helps with the stickers.
exactly.
And
Those
if
things
you're
aren't
seeing
free.
us for the first time on YouTube, we've got some space here. We could, if you want to sponsor the show, just put your little whatever it is.
Are we like Nick Saban with the Coke bottle at the press conference? Oh my
Oh
god.
no! But if we're gonna do that,
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah, the
stand
girls
up.
are on the
needs to be a
Stanley
Stanley.
sponsor.
Needs
Girls
to be a
have their
Stanley.
Stanleys every morning. so
We
that
need
works
every
out well.
color, every size, every
but-
color.
Anything else from the show? Our drive home was awfully eventful because we couldn't leave until
Can we talk about, was it Sugar Shack?
Sugar Shack.
Oh,
Shack.
we
They
did
got a
some-
shout out on the episode.
we had
Or
some
good
in
food.
Crafted. We didn't talk about Crafted.
Crafted, good Richmond
or PBR. Pizza Beer of Richmond. Pizza
Beer of
and
Richmond.
Beer of Richmond.
Not to
Those
be
are our
confused
shout-outs.
with the other PPR. but
Correct.
But they had
If Foster approved pizza.
It was Foster
Foster
approved,
approved
which
is
is
pretty good.
very hard to get an approval from him. And
And
we did.
That is one thing we did discuss, that you and Laura could probably start a foodie podcast
Yeah.
because
We're thinking about it.
because
We could.
y'all,
We would like
y'all
it.
do a good job
It's
of
on the,
picking restaurants. I'll give it to
it's
you.
on
you
the
have the equipment.
recommendation.
Everything's
Yeah, I
here,
mean, we
ready
can
to
totally
go.
do it.
I like it.
However, I'm going to have a electric blanket to sit down here to record things.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the
That's great.
studio. This is the only place we record. So, the drive home, I just wanted to throw out. We got to hang out at dinner with one of our favorite aunts
Yeah.
who happens to live in Durham on the way through, and we stopped at a Cracker Barrel and
The slowest meal in the
That's all
history of
we
meals.
just a Cracker Barrel.
Just a-
I thought she was from Australia. She was like, no.
Oh yeah, that was pretty
The
good.
waitress had a slight accent. There was a much contested
She's from,
debate.
what, England?
And
Yeah.
she was like, no,
England.
it's from England. And,
And
we
then-
were all like, oh.
And then we got in a conversation with her about whether she liked the king or not. And
Yeah,
then
that was
Joshua
hilarious.
and Caleb were like,
And we were trying. Well, it was like
Well, it
9
was
o'clock.
9
and
o'clock.
y'all
We still
were-
had 4 hours of driving. Well, excuse me, I had 4 hours.
I
of
just
driving.
wanted to know.
I stayed up with you.
You did stay up
We
with
kept
me.
you awake.
Well, we all went to sleep in the back.
Everybody else
Yes.
went to
We
bed.
bought
11.
Corbin a squishmallow, and I used it as a pillow on the way home. It was
There you
great.
go.
I will say, for the next 2 days, I was a little tired.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was a pretty jam-packed weekend.
It was a jam-packed weekend. My feet hurt, dude. That's a long time standing up on concrete for
Yeah.
just doing that.
Oh,
but it was
shoes are a little dated.
it was awesome, man. Highly recommend if you're a family and there's a fly fishing show in your area and you're interested, go check it out. If you're in Virginia, go check this one out again next year. It was a phenomenal event, and
If you're listening to us in Texas, there's the Texas one coming up.
yeah, the one in Texas is coming up.
I think
So
February 3rd, 4th, maybe.
I'm not sure.
You'll check out the Texas Fly Fishing and
Brew Festival.
Brew Festival. Yeah.
We want to go to that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
That
we
was the
can
one
go
they're
to
hoping
Waco.
on the way
Next
home.
year, yeah.
We're gonna go to that one next year so that they
They can go to Waco.
Yeah.
go to Magnolia. We
Yeah.
can do our Chip and Joe episode.
That'd
That's
be
when you
great.
can
We'll
do
just
it.
go
Do
live
it
with
at
Chip and Joe.
Silos. What a great idea.
Oh my
Perfect.
goodness, that'd be great. Well, hey, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will still have the moms on the fly, and we're going to dive into some stuff that we did the last time we had you guys on. We got some questions for you, and we got
yeah.
some things to do and talk to you about. So we will be right back.
All right, so we're back. Dad's on the Fly in the studio. First ever episode on YouTube. If you're not checking it out there, just keep listening. I don't know. But we are down here with our wives tonight. And Caleb, we wanted to just take a moment to kind of get their reflection. We did this on episode 20, as we said. So we've had 50.
I hope that's the right number now.
It
It's
was.
around 20.
We
We've
checked
had 50 episodes.
Yeah, a little
Since
over
then.
50 since then.
It's been a year
A little over a year since
since we
they
did
were
that
on last.
episode. So I think we want to first ask the wives, what is the change? What has the change been like? I don't know if I phrased that question, but is there something different now Are we doing anything better? Or are we doing than we were?
Your sound
time
quality
out,
is better
though.
because you got new microphones.
On the less fishy episodes, we noticed that
Yes, the
there's
quality
better
is much
quality.
better on the
I want
less
to ask a
fishy.
question here.
know.
We're going to
Dear.
put you on the spot.
Oh gosh.
How many episodes of the podcast have you listened to?
All the way through. 4?
Like, we've had 70
Oh,
episodes. How many
I
have you
did
listened
really good at the beginning, and then y'all got really fish heavy. It went more fish than family and faith, and it got real heavy with the fish.
2.
to? You've listened to 2 episodes? Like, total?
I'm not a.
No, you're
I'm
not
not.
going
I
to hurt
don't
my
listen
feelings.
to podcasts
Now
anyway.
I do, but
But they're murder mysteries.
I like
Is that right?
I like the yes,
True
it is
crime.
true crime. I like the murdery
Yeah,
things.
and we're not going to be doing any true crime.
No,
crime on
they're
here,
not going to
so.
be doing any of that.
We're not going to be doing it. Lauren can do her own true crime.
But I will say that I did listen to several at the very beginning because I probably listened to more than 5, but less than 10. Which other ones have I know I've listened to, when y'all first started, I listened to a lot of them at the beginning. And like I said, then they got real fish heavy and I stopped.
Okay, which is fine.
Oh, totally.
So
it does
my
not hurt my
question
feelings
no, it
that you
doesn't
don't
hurt my
listen
feelings.
because
Yes.
why would you? You're not
We
a dad.
support.
We
Just-
support,
You fly
yes.
fish a little bit.
I do.
Will you listen
Yeah.
to this one?
We went to the festival.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
We'll
Okay.
listen to this one.
So, how would you say? And obviously, we talk about this all the time. We're still growing the podcast. We're meeting new people. But when we started this, did you think we would still be going a year and a half in?
Yes,
Okay, just wondering.
I did.
Be honest.
Oh,
I think for me it was like it's great if they do keep going. If it's not, well, okay, you'll try something different. You'll still fly fish, but
Oh yeah,
did you think that we would still be going
dude, I didn't have a clue. My expectations were so like
low?
not low. They were just like. I'm not you. Like I'm not like.
Have y'all ever
I'm
talked about the
optimistic,
Enneagram
but
stuff on here about your Enneagram types and how that sort of impacts
I
your?
don't know if we've ever talked
Nah,
about
we
that
don't
or
wanna
not.
do the Enneagram on
No,
We're
but
not-
I think
we're not.
No, I'm
we're
not
not
saying
the
you have to
NF Downs
talk
podcast.
about that, about how your personalities differ.
Oh, we
and
talk
how-
about our different personalities all the time.
but also the fact that it's a constant like joking thing of it's your 7-ness or it's your 3-ness, etc. Because
Well, yeah,
that's
for
very
sure.
true.
Yeah,
That's
we
very
talk-
true.
we talk
That's
about
like
that.
why when we're doing this, he's like, "Oh, it's perfect. It's us. It's on the fly," and I'm like, "It don't look right. Like,
Yeah,
it's gotta
yeah.
look better. It's gotta be perfect."
But this
And
is-
that's just more our personalities.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
but I think that goes to like his 7 nature.
Oh,
He's
totally.
optimistic. He thinks that's always going to be great.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say that we didn't talk about what the show has done, for the Fly Fishing Show has done, not Dads on the Fly Show, but we are, for the first time in our history, which is a very short
I was
history,
gonna say such a long.
I
History.
know, but we're booked out.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. We got like guests booked out for the next.
I'm booked out
till
to the
April.
end of April. To the
To
end
the
of
end
April.
of April.
Yes.
That's impressive.
We were booked out through the end of April.
Because how it used to be was
Sunday night at
we'd
midnight.
we'd find out on Friday that they'd be willing to do it with us on Sunday. We'd record Sunday, and I'd be up till 1 a.m.
So we're getting better.
Editing.
So we are
We're getting ahead of the game.
booked out, yes. And we have some exciting things planned. So let's ask this question. Have we fished more in the last year, ladies?
Yes.
not Caleb.
Really?
I don't feel like you have.
I'd say it's
But-
probably been
and
consistent.
to be honest, though, I've started my own business, so that has taken. You've had to help me some with that too.
Yeah,
so it's
we've-
taken you away from.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
feel like
that's a
we
good
fished
point.
more, though.
I feel like y'all fished more.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
I probably should say yes, just so that you feel like you're fish more, so you won't go.
It sounds like
more.
I just got permission to go more.
That was a great answer.
And it's on video. So.
That's a good point.
It can be.
I was just thinking, like, we've done more like little short trips
Yeah,
with the
for
kids
sure.
and stuff. And
I've definitely taken the boys fishing more now this year
Yes.
than I ever have. They're kind of getting the age.
But I mean, y'all both went on you went on Wyoming. Was it Wyoming?
Colorado.
We
We
And
went to
then Caleb
Wyoming together. I went to Colorado.
So I mean,
so yeah.
I think that counts as a lot of fishing.
Sure.
Multi-day trips
I don't know if
count
I'd
as
say
a lot
I
of
wouldn't
fishing.
say a lot. Like,
And then
it's
what? Y'all
more.
went
It's
somewhere else too.
We did. Where did we go?
Didn't y'all go somewhere else?
We did.
I don't think so.
No, I mean me and Foster were going to go to the coast.
I know you
and
were
the
planning to go to the
hurricane
coast.
Came. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we could. I mean, it's getting to the point where I get about an invitation a week to come fish with people, but we got these
We got real jobs.
got these real jobs, and
Which are great. I love my real job.
Me
So-
too, and I like being able to be here, and that's kind of what this is all about. Being dads on the fly, we can't do this all the time, but we do have some exciting stuff planned for this season, especially the spring. Like from now till June, man, or from now till April, we got some cool stuff going
There's a lot of stuff going on, which we're excited about.
I don't want to give too many. Like
That's like the worst thing ever. You're like, we got exciting things that I can't tell you anything
Well, I
about
can tell
yet.
you
So I'm
one.
just going to lead into
That's what
it.
he does all the time.
I know.
no, you have to.
People
listen next
hate
week.
that.
Okay, well, we have the Albee trip in October, which is now on social. Like we posted that on Instagram today. So
Yeah, the flyer looked great.
Yeah, Dad's on the Fly with
Thank you,
Drumroll
Tyler.
Charters. Thanks, Tyler from Drumroll Charters.
They look great.
yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
We're taking 4 more people down to the coast and going to go chase albies and
Chelsea Albee's on the fly.
and have a great time.
We I made a graphic, and
Oh gosh,
Laura and Caleb were like, "Just let Tyler do it."
did you tell him that
Yeah,
too?
I said he already had like some really cool colors, and it matched his boat. So why don't you just ask Tyler? He might want to
So Josh
take what he already had.
Joshua
I
sends me a
realize
text.
I'm not strong in that, but I just needed.
Oh, but the flyer was like orange and blue and 2 shades of yellow, and there was a very large ampersand in the middle. And I love one.
and he had the rectangles
yeah,
all
it was
catty cornered.
yeah.
And
It was something special.
I wish I'd have.
did I show that to you?
Oh, we can
I
show
didn't
you.
you.
It lives in
I think
perpetuity
that
on my
needs to
phone.
be like a I don't know.
It's Instagram versus reality. kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you know someone who needs free internship
For graphic design.
non-paid,
Non-paid, free.
we'll be
great.
glad to hook them up with a job. So, as we continue to grow this thing, what for the wives is what are you most excited about?
I don't know. I think it's really cool some of the opportunities that y'all have had with different people. So, like, whether it's people reaching out to y'all specifically, I think that's really, really cool is the idea that y'all had one person reach out from a very large company and then you were able to connect with them. I don't think you've recorded that episode yet, but you were able to sort of connect with them and you're going to record with them. And then the people that then you reach out to that then want to partner after they listen. So, I mean, I think that's really cool that you have people that believe in what you're doing. And I still am logged into the Instagram account, so I see all the messages that come in at all hours.
Although
of the
I
night.
shouldn't apologize,
But-
he should. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but,
But
it's
for your
kind of
defense, you're
crazy.
very good at it. So it's probably better that you do it.
And so I
other
see
than
them, and so I see them, and then I'm always like, "Oh, you got another response." Like this morning, I was like ironing, and I was like, "Some dude just sent you his phone number," and so I mean, it's really cool to see how many people. I think that's the thing you don't ever know when you put something out there, and that's probably the scariest part is you don't know how it's going to be received, and then to have such a huge sort of welcoming reception from people that you don't know. Because I think y'all have said before that you only thought it would be people that you knew that would listen, and it's probably at this point less people that you know listening and more strangers
Yeah,
or
that's
people that
very
you're
true.
friends with via Instagram or any kind of social media,
Yeah.
and you may not have even met them in person yet.
No, that's so true.
We haven't.
It's been, that part's been kind of neat. Just the fact that we've been welcomed into the community, like the fly fishing community.
A
It's
huge connection there for
been
people.
a lot of fun.
All right, what else do you have to ask them before we do the fun part of the show at the end? And which are we going to do the fun part? You got to decide that. We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll just do it. And,
We don't know
we'll
what the
decide.
fun part is.
Oh, we got
we
the
were
fun
not
part.
prepared.
on
We were
this.
not
That's
briefed.
that's the whole point.
We
I
got the
think I
fun-
did in fact ask, what are we doing?
We got the fun part of the show, and since we are on video, we have props. So-
Oh, dude, that's a great
We're gonna do it
idea.
with
We're gonna
props.
so do that.
no.
Yes.
We're going to do it with
Oh,
props.
man.
So it's
All
going
I know
to be
what
fun.
tip it is now. I've done my homework.
We have props.
I
It's
have
gonna-
done no homework.
It's going to be awesome.
We did this in our first episode.
But is
with
there
the
anything
Moms on the
else
Fly.
you wanted to ask before that?
No, I think that's it. Well, I wanted to ask you because in the past year since we've had you on, back on episode 20, you've had the opportunity to go fly fishing several times. So
Not a lot, though.
not a lot. I mean, you probably
It's like,
went.
even you haven't been a lot.
Well, you probably went like 4 or 5 times with me in this past summer. Like that became date night there for a little while because we could get babysitting and we could go fishing for free because I already had all the gear. Like not technically free, but like we had all the stuff. So we didn't have to like pay to go to a movie or out to fancy dinner, which I'll still take you out to fancy dinners. That's not
Appreciate
the
it.
case.
I'll find you some
like-
good restaurants.
Yeah,
Yes.
Laura, I'll find us a good restaurant.
Listen
You
to
already
the,
sent us one the other day.
I'll listen to your
You'll listen to our new
podcast.
podcast.
We'll hook you up.
But what's your experience been like kind of getting to go to the river? And have you enjoyed it? Has it been? And James, our son, is probably about to come down and interrupt us for the 3rd or 4th time in this episode, but that's okay. What's been your favorite part about getting to go?
I think just spending time together. It's really beautiful if you like take time and just look at it, look at the scenery, and enjoy what you're doing. And I like being with you. And I mean, catching fish, I do like to catch fish. So it's fun. It brings a whole new game to like fishing. It's not the same as I grew up. What is that spinner? What is it?
And James
Just makes his first appearance on the show. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
You
dude.
doing all right? Hang on. I'll be right there, okay?
Daddy,
Yeah.
I love
Love you too, buddy. All right. Go on out, okay? I'll be right there. All right. So, but like you didn't even do like, big river, staying in the water, casting at the same spot. Like we went and did some blue line fishing. Like you caught.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is, but we did. Yes.
That's one for the
Look at that.
podcast. That's one for
This is the first question.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's small holes
Yeah,
moving
kinda.
up the river.
Doing a lot of
Beautiful.
moving, like
It's a great
catching
explanation.
a bunch of wild fish. You guys do a lot of that, and I think you had fun doing it.
I did.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize how the little ones fought.
yeah, like you were catching little fish on
Yeah.
on small weight rods and having a great time.
Yeah.
So that's great. I'm glad you get to do it with me, and I appreciate you going with me.
Of course.
So thank you.
I'm just waiting for my fancy dinner and movie now.
Okay. And I just got called out.
I thought the
I'm just teasing.
dinner in Richmond was pretty nice. I mean,
Yeah.
not fancy. I mean,
I wouldn't technically call that a date.
It was
Like,
Instagram
we were-
worthy for
we
pictures.
were-
It
That's
was
for sure.
It was
We
beautiful.
had them with us, and we were meeting
Yeah,
with
that's
another
true.
guy that we're going to have
Yeah,
on the
and
show.
I don't really know
call
that
it a
y'all
date.
can count that as a
Yeah.
it wasn't a but
For
okay.
sure.
So let's transition to the fun part of the show.
All right, let's
Close
do
the
it.
show,
I
and
love
let's
it.
have
Fun
some
for y'all, maybe.
Can I
Yes,
can I deal with
you can
James
take care
here
of your
for a
child
minute?
here. I can edit this, and then we're gonna have some fun. All right, so to close out this episode, Wives Part 2. We did this in the first episode.
Moms on the fly. That's what we're calling them.
Okay,
the moms on the fly.
Yeah, but we we did this in the first episode with just some questions. But
Yes.
tonight, since we're on YouTube, we thought we'd do a little visual.
Yeah, we might do a little bit of both.
A little bit.
I got a
of both.
couple
All
of
right.
them.
Okay, you got a couple.
of
So
them ahead, but
we're gonna play Name That Fly Tying Tool.
I love it.
Okay.
This is gonna be
All
fun.
right. So we're gonna play Name That Fly Tying Tool. So this is tool number 1.
It's a whip finish.
She's buzzing in.
Do we have to buzz? Do we have to buzz?
The buzzing's going to just make all kinds of noise on the microphone.
Yeah,
so
that's-
maybe
Sorry,
maybe
no
we'll
buzzing.
raise our hand. But this is a
It's a whip finish
finishing tool.
very good,
Dude, I'm impressed.
One
they
for
got
one.
that one wrong.
Knocked it
That's
out.
the
so
one
our
where
poor audio listeners can't see these things, remember? So,
Oh.
but that's okay.
It was a whip finish.
It was a
tool.
whip
They
finish
can
tool.
kind of
Ding, ding, ding,
yeah,
ding,
imagine.
ding.
It's good.
Okay, number 2. This is called a
that's what you put your thread in.
The bobbin
is-
goes on it.
no.
Oh.
It's called.
It actually is
It
just
is called a bobbin.
Yes,
It's called a
very
bobbin.
good.
Very
Which is actually really pretty terrible because in sewing, the bobbin is the actual spool of thread that goes in the bottom, which is kind of weird and makes me question whoever named
Well,
that part the
I don't know
bobbin.
anything about that. So, yeah.
All right.
Oh, dude.
I know what
bottom
it
thread.
I
does.
just found what I can find on the table.
I know what
Anybody
it
know what that
does.
is?
I know what it does, but I don't know what
I
it's
don't know
called.
what it is.
What
It's
is
a
it?
wire thingy.
It looks like a threader.
What is it? Okay, what does it do?
It threads things. It
Onto-
threads, onto
So
the
it would be
bobbin.
called a-
It's a bobbin threader.
Hey, very good.
Which actually is not completely wrong. Anyway, that's beside the point.
All right.
I
just
think
got-
together we
I
could.
got a pocket full here.
I was
Yeah.
going to
do
say, I'm
any
quite
of this.
impressed.
Yeah,
You're,
you're
like, you're just
All
pulling
right.
stuff out of everywhere.
Oh, I know what it does.
I know what it does too. You
Makes
they
too
you
much
put it
noise.
down in there.
You put your feathers or your hairs down in there, and you whack, 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 whack.
So it's
and
called
then
a
it makes
A
it
squisher.
evener.
hair
Compressor.
Stacker.
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 That's exactly what I would have called it if I didn't name that.
All right, we're doing great.
thing.
Oh, this is
We
my
like to
favorite part.
stack hairs.
We're doing great. Okay.
A UV light.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I
Very good.
mean, very good.
I had
Yeah.
know that because my
Well, that was an easy
kids
one,
like
but-
to play
That's
with
now,
it.
y'all say you're not going to get into murder podcasts, but give
I
us
use
some.
those a lot
Is
on
it
this,
luminol? I
All right,
think
here
it's
we go, here we go.
luminol.
The answer is on this, so I have to kind of be careful here. This is a material.
It looks like wire.
Very good.
Yeah, wire.
Lead wire.
Lead wire.
Very good.
Just to help weight fly.
Help weight flies down. Okay.
That's exactly
more
what we
material?
said, right?
That's chenille,
Yeah, I was going to say
which can
that's
also
for,
be
like,
purchased
Which
at
at
craft
Hobby Lobby,
stores. They
yeah.
didn't believe us.
Dude,
Yes.
that Hobby Lobby's my new favorite place to buy.
What is that? How
time
much does that
supplies.
little pack right there cost?
I don't know.
I don't
Like $5 or $6?
Probably.
Meanwhile, you can go to like Hobby Lobby and buy like one that would wrap that 75,000 times for like $6.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That's
that's
that stuff.
frog's fanny.
Yep.
It is frog
That's
fanny.
Foster
What is
stuff.
it?
You know the
what it
names
does?
of it.
It is the powdery stuff that they put on it, and it makes
On
it
the
put
fly.
like water bubble things. Like there's
And
like
so
oxygen, so it floats better.
It floats and it doesn't
looks
get
more
wet.
realistic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we would
like
call it floating,
the dry
but yeah.
flies.
Yeah, that's right,
Stay
babe.
on
Yes.
top of the water.
Very good.
He did a whole demo
So
for us.
proud
What
of
was
him.
it, Jerry?
Jerry.
Oh, I got the
Jerry Yates
wife's
with Frogs
name.
fan.
She was really
I didn't
much
get to meet
better.
his wife, but we watched a whole little demo.
Here
It
we
was
go.
great.
What is that?
Dubbing,
Okay, what kind?
chenille dubbing.
I want to call it Flashaboo, but that's wrong.
No, that's
That's
Dubby.
different too.
That's a fly name.
I just like the name. It's
Right?
a fun name.
No, Flashy Boo is a material.
Flashy Boo.
item.
It looks like
I'm trying
tinsel.
here.
Okay, it does look like
So
tinsel.
what it is?
Sparkly dubbing.
Yes, that is a great name. I will now call it Spark. Excuse me,
Glitter
sir.
dubbing.
Most people call it ice,
Ice
dubbing,
dubbing.
but yeah, that's okay.
That's
It's still
not
pretty
very
good. I'm
fun.
impressed.
I like
Sparkle
glitter
dub-
or
Sparkle
sparkle
dubbing.
glitter
Is
dubbing.
better.
I think that's
I think
better.
You
that's
have any of
great.
that sparkle? Okay, so the
Sparkle
last thing I
dubbing.
have, I think we're good.
Or iridescent
We're gonna have a
dubbing
little
could be
fun with this,
too.
and then you can ask your questions.
Oh, gosh.
Dobson.
I'm not going to ask any questions anymore.
Fly
Oh, this is
fishing.
way
Did I do better?
than
Okay.
I thought.
All right.
Are you
Oh,
going to have a name
gosh.
flies?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, what is the difference? Oh, I thought I got to make sure I got one down here. Yeah, I do. These were just like flies that were laying on my.
They're gonna lose me here.
No.
I'm already lost.
I don't know where he's going with this either.
I got you. I know everybody can't see, but is there a difference between?
The people watching this on
I know.
YouTube are not going to be
Sorry,
able to see this.
but so there's two flies, right? This would be a what type of fly? Not the name.
For a big fish.
it's a big fish
Okay, but
fly.
what would
the
it do?
opposite of a dry. Is
Okay.
that a dry fly?
This would be a dry fly,
Very good.
correct?
Okay.
So that's a wet fly.
I mean, she's not wrong. That's what a lot of people call them.
That's true. Okay, so this would be a dry fly, which would float.
Which you would put frog's fanny on before you'd put it in the water.
And it
There
would
you
make
go.
it have more bubbles and it would look more realistic because
Yes.
it doesn't go under the water. It stays on top.
There
See,
you go.
we
Okay.
listen.
So
We listen.
this fly has a
underneath.
bead on it, and it
Goes under the water.
goes under the water.
But you have to put a little waiter on there too.
Well, this
Sometimes
one
you can.
because it has a bead,
Oh,
but it could.
well, the frog's fanny lady told
They
me that
definitely
I
had
had
a little-
to.
yeah.
Okay, so this would be a nymph. This would be a dry fly. So that was pretty good. They got it pretty
I'm
well.
quite impressed.
That was
I
very
couldn't
good.
remember nymph.
Yeah.
This is the creepy bugs you don't like that are on the surface of the water. That when you were like when you grew up here and you were in an inner tube, you were like, stay away from that. 'Cause
How
they're all
many
over
inner
the
tubes were
surface.
you ever in? Just when you were little,
I'll
right?
have you know,
Just
quite a
couple.
few. There was a rope attached to
I think
it.
you should ask them what they think the names of these are.
Oh, dude, are you kidding
Parachute
me?
Adams.
Scary
Definitely not.
bugs.
This is a nymph. This is a
Not a parachute
subsurface fly. Would you care to venture a guess?
Patch Adams.
Matt Damon.
It's a Robin Williams fly.
Adams or something.
Well, there is definitely an Adams fly. That is correct.
Wednesday
So,
Adams.
All right, that's called a prince.
You need to make a black one,
Excellent.
white one, and then it
Why?
can be a Wednesday Adams fly.
Oh, wouldn't that be smart?
I think that'd be great. What is the big fluffy one's name?
It's just a really big.
Okay, look,
Huge
Joshua doesn't even know
stimulator.
either.
No, it's a
big
huge stimulator.
I mean,
It's a
just
called
stimulator.
Yeah.
So,
That was all I had, man. I don't really have.
I am quite impressed.
That
Y'all
was
did
just
awesome.
Some stuff I picked
I
up
was
off
really
the
proud.
fly tying desk there, and
Sparkle glitter dubbing.
sparkle
Sparkle
glitter
glitter
dubbing, and
Hair compressor.
hair compressor was my favorite. Yes. So, folks, this was an episode.
The wire thingy.
The wire
I like
thing.
the
I
wire
thought
thingy.
Caleb had questions.
Oh,
No.
wait, I got one more.
No, I don't
I got
have
one
any.
more.
I can't
There's
top
something
it.
else in my
Oh,
pocket.
gosh.
Okay, one more. Do we know what that is?
It's a bobber.
It's a bobber.
You heard it
It
first.
is a
It is a bobber. In the fly fishing world, is referred to
Indicator.
as an,
They call it an indicator,
It's an
but it is a
indicator.
it's an
bobber.
indicator.
I
Very good.
thought the indicator was the little tiny things that stick together on
Well,
that you
I mean,
put
there
on.
That's
are
like
different
another
types
kind,
of
right?
indicators.
Oh,
yes, but it's
Lord.
technically a bobber.
Foster got the pack of the cork ones.
So
Yes.
those are
Yes.
more expensive than the little.
Well, those are supposed to
stingy
last.
They last longer.
So you
though,
don't
so
ever-
yeah,
you gotta keep
You don't
those
have
around.
to.
But yeah, that's kind of all I got, man. I think this
Love
was
it.
fun. This is what we wanted to do for our first ever shot at YouTube. I can only imagine what the comments, if anybody watches, might be, because YouTube can be harsh, man. People are
Great.
harsh in YouTube. with
harsh. I've never been described.
So this is going to be
as
trolls. Trolls
Here
are going to
come
be
the
coming
trolls.
for
We're
us.
opening
You never
ourselves
know.
up
We'll
for
see what
something.
happens.
Hey, I don't really care. It'll be fun.
It was fun. Thank
Yep.
you, ladies, for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, thank y'all. Y'all
Not sure.
definitely make us look a lot better. This will be the best looking podcast we ever record the best looking video podcast we ever
I'm not
recorded.
sure what took longer, doing the actual episode or setting up for the episode.
I think the setup took
Probably
longer.
set up.
Your
Definitely
12
took longer.
outfits, it definitely
Your
took
wardrobe changes.
Yeah.
I
longer
settled
at the
on a
beginning.
Maggie Valley Fly Shop.
I like it.
sweatshirt and
That's good.
What kind of hat am I wearing? Oh, a
You're wearing a
Dad's
Dad's on the Fly hat.
There we go. Come
See,
on,
look,
man.
you're well represented. You got the hat. He's got the sweatshirt.
We're there.
We did this on purpose.
What happened?
I did love how while we were at the fishing show that we had to make sure we didn't wear the same thing.
We
'cause
made sure we wore
had all
different
our-
outfits.
Yeah.
However, what was funny was they made sure that they didn't wear the same Dad's on the Fly shirt, which would have been normal, but they wore almost the exact same kind of pants and the exact same tennis shoes.
Khakis with
So,
We
No,
had the
New
exact same
Balance.
shoes.
And then when we went to Cracker Barrel after the show that night, when we all had on the Dads on the Fly stuff, we were like, when you're in a festival, this doesn't seem strange. But when you're out in the wild of the world, you
That-
look a little nutty
Our
with
Australian
our.
waitress was like, "Who are these weirdos?"
Yeah, it's like, well, these people all have on matching clothes.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Funny.
Hey, folks, we want to say thanks for tuning into this episode. Whether is that right word? No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Whether you're listening to us on one of the podcast platforms or check us out on YouTube, thank you so much. We got a great review from a mom on the
Absolutely,
fly
yeah.
this week that we shared on our social media platforms. Awesome that we have more and more people listening to the show. Make sure and check us out. Follow, subscribe, like, all those good things. And there was one other thing, Caleb. What was it? Patreon is the links will be for all that. And I think that's it, man.
That's
and
it.
we hope to keep doing this. I would hope that we can keep a lot of our episodes on YouTube moving forward. Like I said, we're not really sure why, but just something else for us to do.
I think
In true
Laura
Joshua
and I
fashion.
should end the podcast by their little tagline that they always say at the end.
Should I know it?
Oh, you
No, I do. It's
Yeah.
on the shirt.
Until next time.
Tight lines.
We do listen.
That was perfect.